Welcome to Steampunk Creations. In this tutorial we'll be making a working bubble tube. Here is a list of all the items you'll need to make this tube. So the first thing we need to do is to drill an hole in the end of the test tube, the same size as the small eyelet. This allows for any excess water or air to be released from the tube. The next thing to do is to take the other eyelets, the 5mm, the 10mm and the 12mm, and stack them inside each other and glue them from the back with a bit of super glue. Then you should end up with something resembling this. Then you can go and get your tube and feed the tube through the middle of the eyelet and cut it off so it's flush on the inside. Next, take this, and it should fit nicely inside your 22 to 50mm reducer. I held mine in place with some UV resin, which also gave it a good seal inside, a watertight seal. But if you haven't got this, you can use a 2-part epoxy resin, works just as well. So here's the piece which has had the UV resin poured into it on both ends, which has given us a nice seal, watertight seal. Next, I applied some epoxy resin to the 15mm piece of pipe, which then was fitted to the 20 to 50mm reducer, and some more epoxy resin on the other end of the pipe to attach the 15mm to 10mm reducer, and just wipe any excess glue off and leave that to cure for 5 minutes. I then fitted a piece of 10mm pipe with an eyelet on, just for show at the end. I then got the 18mm eyelet and pushed that on with the flange pointing upwards, and then I sealed along the bottom with some UV resin. If you've not got UV resin, you can use 2-part epoxy. So this has been sealed along the bottom now of the eyelet, and now I'm just going to turn the fitting over and fill the eyelet inside with UV resin and push the test tube onto that and hold it in place while the resin goes off. And this can also be done using 2-part epoxy. And this is the finished tube, all glued and sealed. And then from here we're going to add the nut, which is just really for show, and then put a bit more epoxy resin around the edge of the tube and attach the 22mm elbow to that, and then leave that to go off and cure. So now you can fit the non-return valve and the rest of your tube and your mini air compressor, and that is your bubble tube finished. And this is one which has been wired up and working. These can be purchased from my Etsy store, steampunkcreationsuk.com. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial.